Hey everybody, it's the Coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, 2016 NFL MVP Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons take on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. We take a closer look at Russell Wilson, the Pro Bowl quarterback in his 7th season out of Wisconsin.
So knowing the style of offenses Seattle favored or has favored during Russell Wilson's time there, raise your hand if you thought you'd see him lead the league in touchdown passes.
My hand's down right now.
That's what I thought. He only had 21 in 2016, so we didn't see that part coming. The Seahawks missed the playoffs for the first time in Russell Wilson's tenure last season, but expect that to change going forward.
Yeah, 34 touchdown passes last year on the heels of the 21 you mentioned the season before. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Second and 10 now, Wilson. He's got a man, complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. After the interception, here's Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot defensively. How do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Give him 30 yards there.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Ryan now off the bootleg. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On third down, Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 40 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Falcons coming back onto the field here. And earlier we gave a dubious stat about Matt Ryan. How about a dubious team stat after that loss last week, Charles? Falcons first team since 1966 to score 36 points or more in back-to-back weeks and lose both games.
Well, that doesn't even make any sense because their head coach Dan Quinn, what's his background? Defense. And normally that comes out and shines for him. But they've had a lot of injuries on that side of the ball, lost some key personnel. Let's give him some good news, though. Julio Jones leading the league in yards with 502. No touchdowns, though. They've got to get him in the end zone. And the rookie, Calvin Ridley, leads the league in touchdowns with 6. That's pretty impressive.
It is interesting, though. Julio Jones on pace for 2. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. And they've got to figure out how to stop some of the highlights that we're seeing on the screen here.
And what it feels like, he's going to say it doesn't matter what you put out here. I am having a big-time performance. I'm playing at a big-time level. Just keep throwing me the football.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 45. Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he's got room. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, Wilson. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Doug Baldwin with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to it. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Gets past 1 man. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out now come the Seahawks. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Now Wilson, flush to his right. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Open man, it's Vanette. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play. A pretty sizable deficit here in the 1st quarter. This defense will probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
And this is complete. It's Marshall. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
I'm sorry, but it's almost unfair. Brandon Marshall can make so many plays, but even when you think he's covered,
he's not.
No, he's really not. He uncovers and makes a play on you and picks up good yardage in doing so.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They run it with Carson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. That time, a 9-play drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Well, not content with a 1st quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. And here now come the Falcons. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now Ryan on second down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Wilson finds a seam inside the 40. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Flushed out right. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 12 more yards there and another first down. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now first and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one from that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Here's Coleman. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, Ryan drops it off for Coleman. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
His throw incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's going to go up top, and this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, 26 yards, and the Falcons cut into that lead. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead is down to 28-10. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. Oh, good move. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive,
rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Wilson escaping the pressure right. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him a gain of 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300...
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick. Rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were tight.
Yep.
Don't do it. The problem? Every now and then you get away with it. This time, not the case.
15 yards is the pick up there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, get the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in his first half. It's a first down. Ryan now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. Coleman now. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And a solid run down inside the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Play action. It's Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And it's 3rd and short. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
We'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Falcons will call on Matt Bryant for the field goal try. This one from 46 yards out. Bryant's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, Are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Lockett the return. Twisting away. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all, because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him safe. I have a feeling he made him buy dinner.
Indeed, entertaining to relive some of those deep balls. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Baldwin. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him a gain of 38. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. Now Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
And it's caught and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. Nope.
And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. To kick is Janikowski. This one taken just inside the 10. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some play.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Here's Ryan to throw. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And it's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Now Wilson down around his goal line. He's going to rifle one. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. They give him a gain of 38.
That was good coverage that was defeated by someone who just wanted the ball more, and it resulted in a big gain downfield.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. It's caught right side by Daniels. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And that one results in 35 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Get out!
He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 45. To throw is Wilson. Flush to his right. And they'll get him down as as he's inside the 40. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards on the play. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Derek Shelby in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's Wilson. But he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's 3rd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And Janikowski bangs it through. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now Wilson back into his end zone. He's going to rifle one deep left side and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you've got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Here's Wilson to throw. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Robert Alford. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 3rd down, Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
A first down carry for Smith. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now Ryan on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Falcons get a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that will get them one closer. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, look at that. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Now Wilson. He's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On first down, Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports halftime report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL and give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
he continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now Ryan. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. To the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. Not only another 1st down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college, but I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Escaping the pressure right. Evades him at the 20. The ball comes out, and the Falcons grab it.
Let's be frank, you hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage, but in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 3rd down, that's Freeman. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. Returnable for Lockett. Oh, he will not go down.
have to retape those ankles.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they get a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Now it's Carson. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He'll get it up the middle, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there, taking it in from a yard out, and the Seahawks add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team able to recover it. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Ready, back 25. Check, 4 down, 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Connects with Sanu right side. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So out comes the field goal team once more. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Bryant's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Another 3 on the board. He's been the lone bright spot. That's now 4 field goals.
If this offense had finished a few drives, we'd be looking at a different complexion to this ball game, because right now, the trade is really wrong for them, isn't it? They're trading field goals while the other team's scoring touchdowns. That's not going to work.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Able to slither by. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Wilson on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
On 3rd down, that's Freeman. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And it's hard to hold a kick from this distance against him, but that is now 3 misses for him in the game so far.
3! And you wonder where his head's at right now. Kickers are a funny breed, but I have a feeling he'd love to see a 29-yarder next time to get him back in the groove.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Now Wilson, he's going to air this out for Baldwin, and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Well, one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
Yeah, I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window. Sings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try to take the field goal out of it. Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Freeman again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And he's got Sanu. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Gets it off to Freeman. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield, goes underneath. Nice gain.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed. And when you don't pick up the necessary yardage in that situation, sometimes it starts to put a little doubt in the play caller's mind about what he's going to run on the next play. Because most of them, they thought they were going to pick it up right then and there. Now they've got to adjust what they're doing, adjust what they're thinking, and maybe they go away from what they originally thought.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
He'll get it up the middle. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Falcons claw one back. Well, he's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Jaron Reed breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And his throw here is incomplete.
He's just not at his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
To throw on third down, Ryan to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 46. So that's now 12 points that they've left on the field, 4 missed field goals. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Vic Beasley in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Looking like the Vic Beasley of 2016 on that play, Charles.
That's the one that they want, too, because remember, that Vic Beasley, 15.5 sacks, led the NFL in that category that season. Dropped to just 5 in 2017. He also dropped into coverage more, trying to help out his team.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. He's going to fire one deep over the... And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Flush to his right. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now it's Wilson, flushed out right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Oh, this is a touch cruel here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you've put something out there. You've given yourself a chance. You're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was 0 space, no gain. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively they've been... And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, 28 yards. And the Falcons are able to make things a bit more respectable.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Bryant tacks on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Lockett the return. Oh, now he bowls him over. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, They're not as worried and concerned about getting him out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Throw left side complete. That's Baldwin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 36 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And I don't quite know what's happening here. It's a first down, but the field goal team is out onto the field from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get together on the sideline and talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
Ryan leaves with Freeman on the draw. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. On 3rd down, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys. Because the offense guys always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. He's going to rifle one deep. And got his man complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And give him a gain of 37. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down. Wilson eluding the pressure right. Finding room inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 36. To throw is Wilson. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Derek Shelby in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Daniels that time, and now it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And this is taken in at the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And they just had another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game, and however it turns out, it turns out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Onside kick up big. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now Ryan, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here's Wilson. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Duke Riley leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
On second down, here's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
They find some open field here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Derek Shelby bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Duke Riley in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Here's Wilson to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, this is a touch cruel here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. So out come the Falcons now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Ready? 5:25.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over. Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now Ryan on 2nd down. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a 1st down on that last catch as well. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Ryan now off the bootleg. This is caught. It's Sanu this time for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons claw one back.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Bryant's extra point up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And out now come the Seahawks. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says? Yeah. Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
On 1st down, Wilson. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Vic Beasley in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said to me.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Derek Shelby in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight. And here's Wilson throwing on 3rd and long. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Ready. Wait, 25.
From the shotgun, Ryan. He's got Sanu. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Get up.
Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make this a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there at 22. Here's Ryan. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Wilson wants to throw it. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 42 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year when the Davises and the Gulf.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Everyone's got four.
On second down, Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Here's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.